Let's talk about this AI thing in China. We kind of teed it up a little bit yesterday. Sean, President Trump played it down, talking to the pool on the way back from Air Force One, said, this is fine. This shows there's competition, whatever. Is this a substantive crisis, not just for the American companies who lost value yesterday, but if for national security, is this a crisis or not a big deal or somewhere in between?
Yeah, by the way, not just the company, some individuals also lost a little.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Corporations are people too, Sean.
that's right. Thank you, Mitt Romney. Um, yeah, I think it's a huge national security issue for a multitude of reasons. One, um, the idea of the number of people that were downloading this app yesterday. I mean, my God, I continue to go the spy balloon, then TikTok, and now we're like, hey, let's download an AI app to put on our phones that's coming from China. I mean, how dumb are we? That's number one. Number two, I think the costs, the infrastructure costs of this thing are what scare me, right? These guys spent what, like $6 in a Starbucks gift card and put this company together, and we're spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars at Qualcomm and Nvidia and all this. And to
What if
me,
what if China's lying about
I
how
was just
much
going
they
to
actually
say,
well,
yeah,
spend?
no
that
one
was
knows.
that was actually in the back of my mind. I thought to myself, I don't know enough to know, but I assume that enough of these tech guys have beta tested this thing and kicked the tires. But I started to think to myself, why can't I just go out there and say, for $100 million, I built a thing? I guess the question is, I don't know enough. I mean, are they downloading this thing now and you can actually use it so that you
Yes.
Yeah.
can see
Well,
it?
Yes.
yeah, but they suspended new signups because they
Right,
were
but enough
hacked.
people went to the App Store yesterday to say,
Yeah, over the
yeah,
last
Yes.
I
couple
used
days.
it and it
Yes.
worked, and I gave them all my personal information so that they can
Yeah.
screw in the future. So it is a national security issue. It's also, in my opinion, just it really should send shockwaves through Silicon Valley and everywhere else that says, why are they able to do this for pennies on the dollar and we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars? And what does this portend going forward? Because I mean, this is the same thing that we had with Huawei, which is we start making a cheaper product, we hand it around the world, everybody uses it, and then the infrastructure is Chinese, donated, built, et cetera, and we're screwed going forward.
Dan.
Yeah, and also just I think there's worries about, is their military more advanced now? Like, how are they? If China is not just at par with us, but potentially has leapfrogged us, it's like Sputnik, I mean, or the nuclear arms race. It's going to raise a lot of questions. It's such a new technology. In the United States, it's largely been in the private sector. The budgets that some people have allotted for the spend on this is, astronomical. And if it can be done cheaper, I think there is a real question how, and how do we not know about it? Whether it's the CIA or Meta.
Well, that's actually another point. How did we not see? How do you pop something off the App Store that no one in the Intel community knew was coming? That doesn't really show well for your human sources in China.
Well,
Yeah.
look, it's pretty clear we have great sources in Russia. I mean, it's almost like we're sitting in the Kremlin and we seem to know what they're saying to each other at all times. It's also pretty clear the last 20 years we have terrible intelligence in China.